home here for the last couple of years. Coulthard actually made his Formula One debut at this Catalunya circuit something like 6 years ago, and as he tries to repeat his Silverstone triumph, the Scot knows his every move will be closely scrutinised.
David Coulthard wins the British Grand Prix by just 1.4 seconds from Mika Häkkinen.
The Scot provides us with a home winner. He relishes his appearance on top of the podium. Fiancée Heidi positively glows with pride. Then, last Tuesday, their private jet crash lands at Lyon, en route to Coulthard's Monaco base. They survive, along with his personal trainer. Both British pilots are killed. In Barcelona, McLaren decide a statement is the best method of feeding the media frenzy.
On impact, the plane's wing tanks ruptured and there was a fire on the right-hand side of the aircraft. When the plane finally came to a rest, the front of the cockpit had broken free from the main fuselage. At this point, we established the only way out was through the front, and Andy led the way through the debris. And as this part was 3 or 4 feet off the ground, I followed, to enable Heidi to be able to get down from the aircraft. Once we were all clear of the plane, I returned to the plane to see if there was anything I could do for the pilots, but there was nothing I could do to help.
Controlling your emotions and coping with tragedy is an essential part of a Grand Prix driver's existence. But this horrendous experience has affected Coulthard's outlook on life.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you can't have a situation like that which brings you so close to the realities of how fragile we are on this earth, and not have, you know, a change in some way. You know, obviously felt very close to Heidi beforehand, but I have an increased sense of how lucky I am in my life and what I have. You know, I don't live in the real world being a Grand Prix driver. You know how lucky we are that we get to compete, to drive our cars, and get paid for it. You know, our hobbies, our passion. And it's made me realise just really the importance of family and friends, and you know, really to, you know, I felt I was pretty focused before, but I feel a renewed focus and a renewed determination to get as much out of every day as possible.
Drawing a line under that then, and looking to the Spanish Grand Prix, how have you physically been in the car? Have you had any problems?
No, not really. You know, I've got a few little bruises, but that is not at all going to affect the way I can drive the car. Obviously, I expect to be a little bit more sore come Sunday evening than would be for a normal Grand Prix, because I'm starting in slightly worse physical condition. But the important thing for me was, from my first lap on Friday, I was quick, focused, and thinking about how I can get the most out of the car.
Through 96 and 97, teammate Sir Häkkinen, you pretty much had the upper hand on him. 98 and 99 have clearly been his 2 years. I felt at Silverstone you looked as if you were on the point of redressing that balance once again. Do you think you've lost that momentum now with all the things that have happened to you recently?
Well, clearly the preparation for this race hasn't been at all good, but I think that getting to the track, getting back into a normal routine helps renew the focus. And you know, I think, as I mentioned at the time, I was actually surprised how easy that race was to win. And I know people can say there's all sorts of circumstances that led to me leading the race and winning the race, but the fact is I was there standing on top of the podium in front of the two, you know, double-time world champions. And I know that what I need to do and continue to do is be in front of Mika and Michael when I get to the first corner. Now, qualifying hasn't been my greatest strength in the past, but I believe I've been getting closer and closer. I've been improving as a driver, and still feel that I've got more to go. I'm hoping and believe that they've been closer to the limit in terms of their experience and their age and what have you within the sport. And I know that if I can get in front of them, then I have them beat. There was no attack from either of them once I have track position.
So given all that then, what result would you be happy with to go away from Barcelona?
Well, winning is what's going to make me happy. Anything else is going to be a disappointment. But obviously you have to get through the race weekend, and you know, sometimes, like in Brazil, finishing second was a good result given the problems I had. If I have a car which works well and I drive to the best of my abilities, then winning is the only option.
And closing in on Michael Schumacher in the points table.
Yep, absolutely. Michael's got a bit of an advantage there, but as we've seen in the past, that can be overturned very quickly. and you know, I'm taking every race as it comes and trying to give it 100%.
Well, David Coulthard's in for a painful 1.5 hours or so, carrying those bumps and bruises. He knows this circuit is one of the most physical tracks of the year. 4 big right-hand corners, putting huge stress on all the drivers.